See, VBScript Excel Object Model. VBScript Excel Object Model. See, we already discussed file system object is only applicable for flat files, not for other types of files. But you can create and delete all types of files using file system object. But if you want to conduct internal operations like reading data, writing data, comparing data, etc., if it is Excel file, Excel object required. If it is Word file, Word object required. If it is PDF file, another object. If it is PPT, PPT object. If it is text file, file system object enough. See, VBScript Excel Object Model. What is the purpose of Excel application object? It is used to perform Excel application. It is used to perform operations on Excel application. It is used to perform operations on Excel application. Observe, in Excel we have 3 entities. Just a minute, I will create one Excel file. File name is sample. Open the file. This is Excel file. Excel file. Observe header, sample, Microsoft Excel. Next, observe left side bottom, sheet 1. Next, now sheet 2 selected. Next, sheet 3 selected. This is Excel sheet, Excel file, Excel sheet. Next, close this file. Observe, Ritu, what is this entity?
Workbook.
This is Excel application, not workbook. Workbook means file only. This is Excel application. From Excel application, you can open or close files. Suppose I want to open sample file. This is sample file. This is Excel application. 3 entities. Just a minute. Excel application. Next, Excel file, or you can say Excel workbook. Excel workbook, technical term, bunch of sheets. Next, Excel sheet or Excel worksheet. Worksheet. See, 3 entities in Excel. 3 entities. Next, create how to perform Excel application operations using Excel application objects. Excel application object. See, using Excel application object, we can perform operations on Excel application. How to create Excel application object? Create Excel application object. See, common syntax. See, common syntax for if you want to create any automation object in VBScript, this is the common syntax. Set variable equal to create object of class value. Syntax common, class value only varies from one object model to another. Class value only varies. See, this is syntax. Next example. Set obj excel equal to create object of class value. Saujanya, what is the class value for creating Excel application object?
Path, sir.
Class value for creating. What is the class value for creating Excel application object?
So we need to spy and find out what is the class value.
Why spy?
Or Excel.
Here no.
Excel.
Don't confuse Saujanya. For example, class value for creating file system object. Scripting.file system object.
Scripting.file system
what
object.
What is the class value for creating Excel application object? Already we discussed.
Not scripting.
Not scripting.
Okay.
Dinesh, what is the class value for creating Excel application object?
Excel dot application.
Yes, Excel dot application. Don't confuse Saujanya. We already discussed. And one more thing, you need to remember class values. No context help for getting class values. You need to remember. We already discussed class value for file system object. Scripting.file system. Scripting.file system object. Excel.
Yes, sir.
Excel dot application. Word dot application. Database connection. ADODB dot connection. Database record set. ADODB dot record set. Dictionary object. Scripting dot dictionary. You need to remember. Okay. Next. Examples. See, first simple example. Create an Excel file. Create an Excel file. Create an Excel file. First create Excel application object. Then you can create Excel file. Dim obj excel. Next set obj excel equal to, see, set is VBScript statement. Next create object. Create object is built-in method of Excel dot application. This is class value. See, class value not case sensitive. Next, observe object dot visible. This is optional statement. Why we are using this statement, I will explain. Visible equal to true. Next, object dot type W, workbooks property, workbooks. This is property. Dot add method. If we use open method, open existing file. Add method, add new file, means create new file. To create new file or workbook. Okay. After creating, save. Object dot active workbook, means select the workbook. Active workbook dot, it is new file, save as. If it is existing file, if you write any content, just save method. New file, save as, provide the path for storing. Say January dot XLSX. Next, obj Excel dot quit to close the Excel application. After save, close the Excel application. If you close Excel application, file will be closed automatically. Next, as usual, release the memory. Set obj Excel equal to nothing. Observe Ritu, observe on desktop.
Okay.
Excel file created na. Just delete.
Yes, sir.
Delete the file. This time, make this statement as comment visible equal to true. Run the script. Same file created. What is the difference between these two iterations? First iteration, second iteration, output same. January file created, output same. And what is the difference? What did you find? Observe once again. Suppose for first iteration, object.visible equal to true. Run the script. Next, second iteration, commented this statement. Run the script. Find the difference between these two iterations. Output same. Ritu.
Yes, sir. Yeah. In this, we can see the operations. Object
Yes.
Excel dot visible.
Yes.
How
You can see you can view the operation during execution. That creating file, you can view the operation. Next, if you don't want to view the operation, you no need to use this visible equal to true. You can get your final, you can get your output as it is, but operation not visible. If you want to view the operations during execution, use this statement. Anyhow, it is optional to view the operation, during execution. To view the operation during execution. Next, observe Saujanya. For example, I don't want to view the operation. Just output. Run the script once again. What happened, Saujanya? What is the problem? What is the problem?
As the file is already there.
File already exists. So just
Yes, sir.
error handling. See, just I'm enhancing the script. First, check the existence January file. If not exists, then create the file. If not exists, then create the file. If exists, don't do anything. Okay. See, in this example, combination of file system object and Excel object. See, checking the existence of files. Checking existence of files or folders. That is file system operation. File system operation. High level operations. For that, file system object required. See, take the help, file system object help. obj fso. Create file system object. Set obj fso equal to create object of Excel dot application. Sorry, scripting dot file system object. Scripting dot file system object. See, checking the existence condition. Condition. If, just a minute. obj fso dot type f file exists of file path. Or you can take file path into variable. Not exists. Negative condition. Not so and so file exists. Then create the file and save. Observe on desktop, file already exists. Run the script, nothing. Next, delete this file. Now run the script once again. This time it will create the file created. Okay na Ritu? Error handling.
Yes, sir.
Next, one more enhancement. Check the existence of January file. If exists, open the file and enter some data. If not exists, create the file and enter some data. Anyhow, entering some data is mandatory. If file exists, open and enter. If not exist, create and enter the data. See, third example. Just I'm enhancing the second example. Check the existence of January file. If exists, then open the file, and enter some data. If not exists, then create the file and enter data. See, entering some data is mandatory operation. If file exists, open the file and enter data. If file not exist, create the file and enter data. Okay. See, file system object required. Suppose if exists, then open the file. How to open? Dot open method of file path. Otherwise, you take file path into variable. If you want to use any file path multiple times, take file path into variable. That is optimized way, but not mandatory. File path equal to check the existence of the file path, open the file and enter some data. How to enter data? Obj Excel dot worksheets property. Worksheets. Writing data sheet level. Save data file level. Worksheets of, I'm going to write data into first sheet. Here you can enter sheet ID or sheet name. If you use sheet name, use double quotes. Sheet ID, no double quotes. Dot, see, cells of 1, 1. First row, first column equal to hello UFT. Hello UFT. Next, it is existing file now, just use save method. Enough. else if file exists, do like that, else create the file, means add method. Next enter some data, same. Next save as file path. Observe, file already exists on desktop. Open the file, blank, no data. Run the script, it will open the file and enter some data, hello EFT. Run, over. Open the file, observe. Observe Ritu, data entered na?
Yes, sir.
Next,
Yeah.
suppose
If we write in the
ah,
yeah. If we write in the second cell, then we will write 2, 1.
just a minute. Just a minute. Second row or second column?
Yeah, second row.
Second row 2, 1. First value
2,
indicates rows, second value indicates columns.
okay. Okay.
Run. Why? Just a minute. Hello EFT. Oh, not here. This one, first one. Open file na. File already exists. Run the script. Open the file. Already data available in first one. Next second one. Enter na in second row also.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Suppose observe. Observe Saujanya. Selected one. I want to enter data in this selected cell. Selected cell. Tell me. Fifth row,
Yes, sir.
comma,
5
fourth
and
column.
this
D means
fourth
column.
column.
Run the
Yes,
script.
sir.
Open the file. See, hello EFT. Okay. See, just as usual, 1, 1. This time, next time, file not exists. It will create the file and export the data. And write means export. Run the script. See, file created and hello EFT data. Next, file already exists. Suppose file already exists, no data. It will just write data. Just write data. Okay. See, as like in file system object, Excel object model also sub objects are there, but sub objects not mandatory, user friendliness, but sometimes sub objects mandatory. See, Excel application object. See, Excel objects. Main object, Excel application object. You know functionality of Excel application object, purpose of Excel application object. It is used to perform operations on Excel application. Excel application. You know how to create Excel application object. Set variable equal to create object of Excel dot application. Excel dot application. Next, Excel workbook object. Excel workbook object. Next, Excel worksheet object. Worksheet object. What is the usage of what is the purpose of Excel workbook object? It is used to work with specified Excel file or workbook. It is used to work with Excel files or workbooks. Files or workbooks. Next, Excel sheet. Worksheet object. It is used to work with Excel sheets. Sheet level, file level, application level. See, first one application, next one file, last one sheet. Worksheets. How to create Excel workbook object? Set variable equal to Excel application object, name whatever it might be. Excel application object, you can use your own names. Dot Excel application object dot workbooks property dot add. If it is new file, file not exist, use add method. If file already exists, then use open method. Either add or open. If we use open, provide the path, file path. Next, how to create Excel worksheet object. Set variable equal to Excel workbook object. Workbook object dot worksheets of sheet ID or within double quotes sheet name, sheet ID or sheet name. Observe, using Excel application object, we create workbook object. Using workbook object, we create worksheet object. Okay. Next, Excel application object is always only one. Excel application object is always only one. Next, Excel workbook objects. One or more. See, we can create one or more Excel workbook objects. Workbook objects. Next, same way, we can create multiple worksheets objects. We can create one or more worksheet objects. We can create one or more Excel worksheet objects for every workbook object. And remember, in file system object model, we created one sub-object text stream object. Text stream object, creating text stream object is mandatory in file system object model in order to perform text related operations like read, write, etc. See, observe this one. Ritu, difference
Yes, sir.
difference between file system object model, file system object model and Excel file system object model and Excel object model. In case of sub-objects, what is the difference? Tell me, Ritu.
Yes, sir.
In file system object model, creating text stream object is mandatory to perform file internal operations like read, write, etc.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Read, write, those methods only applicable on text stream object.
Yes,
See.
sir.
See, in file system object model, in file system object model, creating text stream object. This is sub object. Creating text stream object is mandatory. to perform text related operations, read, write, etc. Text related operations. Next, in Excel application object model, in Excel object model, creating sub-objects, is optional, only for user friendliness. Here one condition. Creating sub-objects is optional. Using main object also you can handle files and sheets. Observe Ritu, in this example,
Yes.
we are operating specified sheet na. Suppose first sheet.
Yes, sir.
Using main object only, we are activating that specified Excel sheet. Here we didn't use any sub-object. Using main object only, you can conduct all Excel related operations.
Operations. Yes, sir. Yeah.
One except working with multiple files and worksheets. Observe. Suppose if you want to work with multiple files, multiple sheets, then sub-objects required, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
I want to open 2 files and 4 sheets and compare data. For that, sub-objects required. If it is single file, single sheet, single main object enough, sub-objects not required. Okay na? Optional.
Yes, sir, yeah.
But if you want to work with multiple files and multiple sheets, then sub-objects are required. Okay na, Samir? Did you understand this concept? Any confusion?
No, sir.
Observe. See, I am going to use same example. Next, this time only using main object. Next time using sub and sub objects. Sub-objects, sub and sub objects. Same example. See. OBJ workbook, OBJ worksheet. See, set, observe. Set OBJ workbook equal to open. Next, using OBJ workbook, you can create worksheet object. Set OBJ worksheet equal to OBJ workbook dot worksheets of sheet ID 1 or 2 or 3. Next, using worksheet object, you can conduct sheet level operations. Obj worksheet dot cells of 1 comma 1 equal to hello UFT. Okay. Next, save. Save is workbook level, not sheet level. If you write or if you modify any data in any sheet, you just save file or workbook. Workbook dot obj workbook. It is not showing help. Workbook dot save. Same way, set variable equal to next save new file na save as obj workbook dot save as file path. Okay. See, quit the Excel application. Next, release the memory for all 3 objects. Set obj worksheet equal to nothing. Next, set obj workbook equal to nothing. See, same example. Earlier we used main object only. This time sub and sub objects. Sub and sub objects. Suppose file not exists. It will create the file and enter some data. Run the script. See, file created. Open the file. Data entered. Suppose file already exists. No data. Run the script. Open the file. Data entered. Okay na Saujanya? Earlier we used only main object. This time sub and sub objects.
Yes, sir.
Next, one more example and we will continue tomorrow. Excel not completed. Just one real-time example. Read data from external Excel file. See, read data, test data. Read test data from an external or from an Excel file and perform data driven testing. Data driven testing for login functionality. Login functionality. Read test data from an Excel file and perform data-driven testing. Okay. Say I'm taking the new test. Suppose test data file. Create test data. Suppose agent password. Agent password. Test 1. 5 records. Say first I will use only valid inputs. Next example we will use valid and invalid inputs for positive and negative testing. Okay, test data is ready. Next, generate the basic test. Generate the basic test. Login functionality. Enter agent name. Enter password. Close. See basic test. Run it once, perform dry run, sample run to make sure whether the script is executing without errors or not. Okay. Next, read test data and connect. See earlier we did the same example in parameterization chapter, but that time using data table. We imported Excel file data into data table. Using data table, we conducted data driven testing. Mediator data table. But in this example, no mediator, no tool feature. Fetch test data directly from external Excel file and connect. See, dim obj Excel obj workbook obj worksheet. You know how to create Excel application object. Set obj Excel equal to create object of Excel dot application. You know how to create workbook object. Guide me, Ritu, how to create Excel workbook object.
Yes, sir. Set obj workbook
Set obj workbook equal
is equal to obj Excel
dot.
dot
Why it is not showing context?
dot
Obj
work
Excel. Just a minute. Dot workbooks
workbook
property workbooks dot file already
dot
there. Open.
open.
Provide the file path.
Yes, sir.
Just a minute. File path. Test data file path. Okay. Next, create worksheet object.
Set obj worksheet
Set obj worksheet
is equal to obj workbook
equal to obj workbook.
dot worksheets, a sheet ID or sheet name.
Yes, dot worksheets. Suppose our data available in first sheet. You can use sheet ID or sheet name. Sheet name sheet 1, or you can rename sheets. Okay. Next, take row count. Row count. I'm taking one variable, rows count. This is just variable, rows count. Rows count equal to, see in this third level, no context help. You need to remember these methods and properties. Rows count equal to worksheet level. Object worksheet dot used range means data range. Used range, data range dot data available in 5 columns, rows dot count. You need to remember this syntax. Dot columns dot count also there. Okay. Next, use loop structure for I equal to 2 to rows count. Why am using 2 to rows count?
Because one is header,
Yes,
one
column
first row
header.
is header.
See, from second row onwards, test data. In this example, say 2 to rows count. Place next statement at the end. Next, connect the data. Set obj worksheet of, here I indicates rows. I first time second as second row. Next 3, next 4, like that. I comma 1, first column, or instead of 1 you can use capital A. See, this is capital A, column header. Instead of 1 you can use within double quotes A. Next, I comma 2, instead of 2 you can use column header
B.
capital B. Okay. You want to observe the
I
test?
indicate rows.
Pardon?
Okay. I indicate rows.
Yes, I indicate rows.
Okay.
Rows only vary. Columns fixed na.
Yes, yes. Okay.
See, wait 2. Only for observation. Just a minute. I is row. I for row. Next, in this scenario, A for column. We used column name. Here also same. I for row. Rows vary. 2 for column. Okay. Next, quit the Excel application. Obj excel.quit. Next, we are just reading the data, no save required. Just release the memory. Set, just a minute. Set obj worksheet equal to nothing. Next, set obj workbook equal to nothing. Next, set obj excel equal to nothing. See, creation sequence, creating first main object, using main object workbook object, using workbook object worksheet object. Next, releasing memory, first sub object, next sub object, next main object. Run the script. Object not supported method. What is the problem? I capital A. Observe the problem, Ritu. It is not taking.
Yes, it says obj worksheet dot cells. I think.
Forgot. Yes. Not we written directly. Cells of column ID comma sheet. Sorry, row ID comma column ID or column name dot cells. Just a minute. Just a minute. See, first it is taking test 1, test 2, test 3. See, in this example, we are using only valid inputs. Tomorrow we will use valid and invalid inputs for positive and negative testing. See, 5 records executed. Okay, na, Samir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We'll meet tomorrow, same time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome.